Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah walhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. Welcome back to our series on the Prophet. And so last time we had started how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthens the Prophet throughout the Quran. And so today we'll be continuing with that and talking about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthens the Prophet by enjoining him to be patient. And this is something that, as you will see, there's a lot of ayahs in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Prophet to be patient. And this is, of course, partly because the Prophet went through a lot of difficulty and hardships. Like the Prophet said that the messengers are tried and tested the most, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves them the most and also tests them the most. And so we know the Prophet went through all kinds of hardships during his life, and so this constant assurance and reminder from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be patient was to strengthen the process. And when we talk about sabr in Islam, a lot of times, like in English, like when we say patient, like it has a very passive connotation, but in Arabic, it's more that you try to do your best and then um, let have your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be patient while the difficulty lasts. And so it has this connotation of steadfastness as well, even though usually in English it might just be translated as patient. And so we see the first example from Surah Ahqaf. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the Prophet فَاصْبِرْ كَمَا صَبَرَ أُولُو الْعَزْمِ مِنَ الرُّسُلِ وَلَا تَسْتَعْجِلْ لَهُمْ كأنهم يوم يرون ما يوعدون لم يلبثوا إلا ساعة من نهار بلاغ فهل يهلك إلا القوم الفاسقون. So be patient, O Muhammad, as were those of determination among the messengers, and do not be impatient for them. It will be on the day that they see that which they are promised, as though they had not remained in the world except an hour of a day. This is notification, and will any be destroyed except the defiantly disobedient people? And the Ulul Azm mentioned in this ayah are the five prophets of great resolve, which are the Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, Ibrahim alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam, and Musa alayhi salam. And so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding the Prophet to be patient as those prophets of firm resolve before him were. And then the next ayah from towards the end of Surah Nahl, we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell the Prophet وَاصْبِرْ وَمَا صَبْرُكَ إِلَّا بِاللَّهِ وَلَا تَحْزَنْ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا تَكُ فِي ضَيْقٍ مِّمَّا يَمْكُرُونَ. And be patient, O Muhammad, and your patience is not but through Allah. And do not grieve over them, and do not be in distress over what they conspire. And then the next ayah from Surah Ma'arij, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَاصْبِرْ صَبْرًا جَمِيلًا. So be patient, Prophet, as it befits you. And then the next ayah from Surah Hud, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, تِلْكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الْغَيْبِ نُوحِيهَا إِلَيْكَ مَا كُنْتَ تَعْلَمُهَا أَنْتَ وَلَا قَوْمُكَ مِنْ قَبْلِ هَذَا فَاصْبِرْ إِنَّ الْعَاقِبَةَ لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. These accounts are part of what was beyond your knowledge, Muhammad. We have revealed them to you. Neither you nor your people knew them before now. So be patient. The future belongs to those who are aware of God. And again, we see in this ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling the Prophet that in al aqibata lil muttaqin, that in the end the muttaqin are the ones who will be successful. And then again we see towards the end of Surah Hud, wasbir fa inna Allah la yudhi'u ajra al muhsinin. Be steadfast, God does not let the rewards of those who do good go to waste. And then the next example is from the end of Surah Taha. فاصبر على ما يقولون وسبح بحمد ربك قبل طلوع الشمس وقبل غروبها ومن آناء الليل فسبح وأطراف النهار لعلك ترضى. So, Prophet, be patient with what they say. Celebrate the praise of your Lord before the rising and setting of the sun. Celebrate his praise during the night and at the beginning and end of the day, so that you may find contentment. And so, again, we see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling the Prophet to be patient over على ما يقولون, what the kuffar are saying. Because they said a lot of hurtful and distressful things, and so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the Prophet to be patient, and then ordering him to pray salah. And so this is again similar to the ayah in Surah Baqarah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. And then we see from the end of Surah Rum as well, فَاصْبِرْ إِنَّ وَعْدَ اللَّهِ حَقٌّ وَلَا يَسْتَخِفَّنَّكَ الَّذِينَ لَا يُوقِنُونَ. So be patient. Indeed, the promise of Allah is true. And let them not disquiet you who are not certain in faith. So again, reminding the Prophet that the promise of Allah is true, and so telling him to be patient. And then we see in Surah Ghafir, فاصبر إن وعد الله حق واستغفر لذنبك وسبح بحمد ربك بالعشي والإبكار. So again, similar, reminding how the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is true. And then the next example is from towards the end of Surah Yunus. واتبع ما يوحى إليك واصبر حتى يحكم الله وهو خير الحاكمين. Prophet, follow what is being revealed to you and be steadfast until God gives his judgment, for he is the best of judges. And then we see again some examples from the 29th juz. So the first one in Surah Muzammil, وَاصْبِرْ عَلَى مَا يَقُولُونَ وَاهْجُرْهُمْ هَجْرًا جَمِيلًا. And then from Surah Mudathir, وَلِرَبِّكَ فَاصْبِرْ. Be steadfast in your Lord's cause. And then from Surah Insan, فَاصْبِرْ لِحُكْمِ رَبِّكَ وَلَا تُطِعْ مِنْهُمْ آثِمًا أَوْ كَفُورًا. So be patient for the decision of your Lord, and do not obey from among them a sinner or ungrateful believer. And then again, we see from the end of towards the end of Surah Ghafir, فَاصْبِرْ إِنَّ وَعْدَ اللَّهِ حَقٌّ فَإِمَّا نُرِيَنَّكَ بَعْدَ الَّذِي نَعِدُهُمْ أَوْ نَتَوَفَّيَنَّكَ فَإِلَيْنَا يُرْجَعُونَ. So be patient, O Muhammad. Indeed, the promise of Allah is truth. And whether we show you some of what we have promised them, or we take you in death, it is to us they will be returned. And then the last one from Surah Qaf, فاصبر على ما يقولون وسبح بحمد ربك قبل طلوع الشمس وقبل الغروب. And so again, similar to the ayah that we saw before in Surah Taha. And so we see this throughout the Quran in many, many ayahs where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is strengthening the Prophet by commanding him to have patience. And so, inshallah, we'll continue next time with how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defends the Prophet from the attacks of the believers. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.